The contents of this show are intended for news and educational purposes only. Any products or services presented should not be construed as an endorsement by this station or Tracey Communications. All trademarks and trade names are the individual properties of their respective owners. Welcome to Brandworth TV, America's premier show dedicated to helping businesses grow their brands. A showcase of successful businesses and their leaders, advertising news, tips of the trade, and thought-provoking and entertaining ads. Brandworth TV is brought to you by American Flatbread Frozen Pizza, Fratello's Italian Grill and Homestead Restaurants. Also by Pele, New Hampshire Center for Laser and Medical Aesthetics. Here's our host, Kevin Tracey.
Welcome to the show. If you're interested in business, advertising, marketing, and growing your brand, then you're absolutely in the right place. Today's show will feature the amazing Frost Ice Bar in Boston, where you can go for a real cool cocktail. We're also going to Pittsfield, New Hampshire to visit Globe Manufacturing, the largest and most trusted firefighting suit manufacturer in the world. And as always, we're going to have some great TV ads, some guerrilla marketing tips, and news from the advertising and marketing world. Now, a few weeks ago, I made fun of advertisers that put dogs in their ads. Well, here's an ad for Harvard Health called Completely Tuned In that uses a dog. This is a great use of the dog, and also it's fabulously creative. Check this out. The holidays are nearing, and Kohl's has added an emotional TV spot to their offerings. They usually focus on savings, sales, and Kohl's cash coupons. The new ad is set to Bob Dylan's Forever Young, and I really liked it, and it got me into the Christmas spirit.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars, climb on every rung. May you stay forever young.
Thanks, McCann Erickson Advertising in New York, for a great holiday spot. Well done. Brandworth will be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
What does it take to have extraordinary advertising? It takes creativity. It takes experience. It takes empathy. It takes vision. It takes imagination. It takes a God-given sense of knowing the difference between what's good and what's great, and never settling for good. It takes innovation. But most of all, it takes courage. Tracey Communications, creating engaging, branded, award-winning content for all types of media. TraceyCommunications.com.
So relaxing, so inviting, just like home but more exciting. Where you wanna go, where you wanna go. The Homestead Restaurant, where you wanna go.
Welcome to Homestead Restaurant. Enjoy fabulous food, cocktails, and fireside dining in a truly authentic country home setting. Happy hour Monday through Thursday, 4 to 6.
The Homestead Restaurant, where you wanna go.
Welcome back. You might wonder why I'm wearing a coat, because it's absolutely freezing where I am. And I'm here with Greer Kallela, who is the general manager of Frost Ice Bar in Faneuil Hall in Boston. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
This is, as you know, this is kind of amazing, because I read about this and I thought it was probably the most interesting thing I've seen in a long time. So thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
How did you come up with this concept of being in, having an ice, whatever?
So one of our partners, Bob Radin, he's a professor for the business program at Boston College. And he took his students to Stockholm, where they have one of the older ice bars, part of Ice Hotel. And they went to the ice bar, and he said, this is a concept I have to bring back to Boston. It's so unique, it's cool. There's nothing like it in the city. And they've done really well across the entire world. So they're just starting to pop up in the United States, so we really hit it well. And he brought it back and brought it to Cindy from Boston Duck Tours, and they kind of started this partnership and team, and the rest was history, and here we are.
And it's a brand new business. How long you been here?
We've been open for 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people that haven't been here yet that I'm sure are going to come.
Yes, we hope so.
It's amazing, and the ice is so beautiful. How do you make this ice?
So it's actually made in London, Ontario, a company called Ice Culture, which has built about 27 ice bars across the world. They freeze one of these blocks, so they're called Kleinbell blocks. Each one weighs about 300 pounds. And they freeze them very slowly from the bottom up to make sure that it's totally see-through and that the water is as pure as possible and clear. Once that happens, then they sort of start to build it piece by piece. These were not made in Ontario, but everything along this wall was, even the table and these banquette seating. So everything is built there, put in a box, and then shipped down in 2 18-wheeler trucks.
And been busy?
We have been very busy, yes.
Is it a franchise that you have to buy?
No,
Oh.
we're a solo entity, but there's other ice bars. They're just not Frost Ice Bar. So we are the sole owners of Frost Ice Bar. There's no other Frost Ice Bar, but there's Ice Hotel in Stockholm, and they have several ice hotels and bars, and then there's -5, and they have others. Hopefully this won't be our only one, but we started in Boston because that's where we're based.
What do people say or to you, or the guest experience? What kind of things do you hear when they come out of here?
Everybody first, it's,
Other than, I'm freezing my
I was
butt
just
off,
going
right?
to say, everybody's first reaction is, oh, it's cold in there.
Yeah.
But once they get off of the initial cold, a lot of people just talk about how beautiful it is in here. The energy, our bartenders really create a fun atmosphere. You get to drink your drink on the rocks, served out of an ice glass, and there's good music, there's beautiful things to see, so everyone's kind of in awe of really what you can do with ice, even taking something so normal, like a bunch of baseballs, and put it in ice, and it looks really cool. So,
How long do people get to stay in here?
we suggest 45 minutes, but the average person usually stays 45 minutes or more.
So they have music. Did anybody dance in here?
We don't have dancing per se. People
don't
sort of
allow dancing?
maybe dancing's not really allowed.
Not on the
Yeah,
tables.
not
right,
on the
ice.
tables. But people, there's just good music to kind of get the energy up and whatnot. So
Let's talk about you. How did you get into this business?
I went to school for hospitality management at Cornell University. After school, I left and went to work in food and beverage for Hillstone Restaurant Group. I was in, I'd say, 5 different cities over the course of 4.5 years. And then I stumbled back in Boston. I grew up here. And our CEO, Cindy, who also is the CEO of Boston Duck Tours, asked me to read the business
I've met
plan.
Cindy.
You have, yes.
Charming woman.
Yes. So she asked me to read the business plan since I was already sort of working down in this area. I knew a lot about Faneuil Hall and the tourism industry already based on our restaurant being here. And then she kind of talked me into interviewing for the GM position, and that was about 4.5 years ago. So it's kind of a long time ago to have really now see the vision happen.
4.5 years ago was the planning for this?
Yes.
And it took that long to get
It
this
did,
done?
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the ice.
Sure.
Obviously it's cold. It's 21 degrees in here.
It is.
And my feet are starting to freeze.
Yes, I told
However, you told me the guest experience is that once you get acclimated, it doesn't feel that bad to you.
Your fingers and your toes start to lose the heat first just because there's not as much circulation. But once you're in here for a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes, you really do start to not feel that anymore. It's kind of like when you go skiing. And then when you go outside, just like when you've been in the cold as a kid sledding, skiing, etc., you kind of start to get a little bit, that kind of hurts a little bit, and then it's fine.
What are you doing to market the company?
Well, we work closely with Boston Duck Tours. We share the same CEO, so thankfully we have all of their,
All their
contacts
passengers
and exactly already, which is really great. So we do sell joint tickets to them. We've been using a lot of social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, that kind of thing. And then, we found that a lot of our guests thus far have been locals. So we're doing a lot of stuff to reach out to pair with certain Faneuil Hall establishments, our partners in the area. When you're here, you're already here. So we're trying to make it so that people that can come to Frost and then go somewhere else afterwards.
Tell me how you learn more about this. You have a website. Could you give me the website?
Yeah, it's frosticebar.com. And we're on Facebook at Frost Ice Bar. And you can just find us, with those, and then the website is the best tool. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call. The number's on the website.
And you're open 7 days a week, right?
7 days, yeah.
That's hard for you, right? Do you have to work 7 days a week?
I'm here a lot, yeah.
Well, this has been real exciting. I just think people should come here because it's so different, so amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me here. Greer, thank you very much. It's time for us to have a real cold one, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's served on the rocks.
Real cold. Hey, this is going to be great. Here's one for me.
Thank you very much.
And on
Thank
the
you,
rocks,
Amanda.
actually on ice, right?
Yeah, there you go. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. Cheers to you.
It's fresh, cold.
We'll be right back with more Brandworth in a few See, I'm drunk. We'll be right back with more Brandworth right after these messages.
Palais, New Hampshire Center for Laser and Medical Aesthetics. Our state-of-the-art laser and light-based treatments. Beauty solutions using injectables such as Botox and dermal fillers. And aesthetic treatments to enhance your skin and maintain a healthy, glowing complexion are now here in Manchester, New Hampshire. Are you ready for flawless skin? Then call our medical professionals at Palais, New Hampshire Center for Laser and Medical Aesthetics, 603-627-7000.
My name's Tony Tracey. I'm from Dover, New Hampshire. I'm the owner and head coach at Atlantic Gymnastics. I'm moving all the time. I spend the whole day on my feet. A lot of years of pounding kind of took its toll on my body. I was 44 years old when I knew I needed a hip replacement. I was just really comfortable with all the doctors at Wentworth Douglas. As a coach, I really appreciate when a team comes together, and that's what they did at Wentworth Douglas.
Have you been wondering what's hot and what's not in advertising, marketing, and public relations? With the news you can use, here's Kevin Tracey.
Congress is working on disallowing tax deductions for advertising expenses. The House Ways and Means Committee is considering a proposal that would dramatically curb the expensing of advertising costs for tax purposes. For 100 years, federal tax code has allowed businesses to deduct the full cost of advertising, just as it permits the deduction of salaries, rent, utilities, office supplies, and other legitimate business expenses. Clark Rector, the Executive Vice President of Governmental Affairs at the American Federation of Advertising, says limitations on advertising expenses could reduce sales by as much as $446 billion each year and will place 1.7 million U.S. jobs at risk. Luxury car maker Jaguar will position itself as the British bad boy, shaking up American car competitors in its first Super Bowl TV spot. Jaguar announced that it'll air a 30-second spot promoting its new F-Type coupe performance car during the third quarter of the Super Bowl on February 2nd. I saw the teaser. Did I like it? Not so much. We all know that Twitter's IPO happened a short time ago. According to Social Media and Marketing Daily, any fears that Twitter might replicate Facebook's busted IPO with a debacle on the first day of trading were dispelled when the stock soared above its opening price. The stock debuted at $26 a share, but immediately skyrocketed, nearly doubling to $50 a share before settling down to $44.90. The closing price puts Twitter's total value at around $25 billion, way up from previous estimates of $13 to $14 billion. I've just become a fan of DollarShave.com. I use their blades, and I just learned that their video featuring founder Mike Dubin won an award for being one of the best independently produced commercials in America. Here's the video.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandra, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
According to USA Today, a Volkswagen TV commercial featuring a woman whose obnoxious laugh that never stops was voted by Ace Metrics Consumer Survey as this year's funniest ad. But it ranks only a little better than average in effectiveness. Take a look, and we'll be right back with our next guest.
Hey, thanks so much for giving me a ride.
Any friend of Marie's. Besides, I didn't really want to drive 9 hours alone. You can take care of the stereo.
Well, I hope you like polka.
Pick your passengers wisely. Get up to 609 miles per tank with the Volkswagen Jetta TDI Clean Diesel. That's the power of German engineering.
At Hampstead Hospital, we are committed to providing our patients and families effective treatment in a caring environment. Our highly skilled and experienced staff assesses patients' unique treatment needs. We are dedicated to listening to patients and their families. Our programs include child, adolescent, and adult psychiatric services, drug and alcohol treatment, and programs for developmental disorders. Learn more by visiting hampsteadhospital.com.
I'm in the mood for conversation. I'm in the mood for dinner and friends. A little laughter and libation. Relaxation, celebration.
Are you in the mood for amazing Italian food in a beautifully restored historic place? In the mood for a banquet for 200? In the mood for happy hour, Monday to Friday, 4 to 6? Then you're in the mood for Fratello's.
Yeah, I'm in the mood for Fratello's.
Welcome back. We're here with Rob Fries, who is the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Globe Manufacturing. He's also a fourth-generation family member of the company that is owned by the whole family. Rob, how are you?
Good day. It's great to be here with you, Kevin.
You know, I thought about this company, and and I'm looking always for interesting subjects to be able to put on my show, Brandworth, and I thought about you guys because you're fourth generation. Your great-grandfather, if I'm correct, started this company?
He did. Actually invented firefighters' clothing back in 1887. So
that's right. I didn't say that this is a firefighters' clothing company, and you're probably the largest in the world, and you're the oldest in the world, right?
We are. We invented the category here in northern New England back in the late 1800s. It was about really keeping firefighters warm and dry. And so back then he invented kind of a three-layered system approach to dressing firefighters to go out to fires and join bucket brigades.
Was he a firefighter?
He was. He was.
Okay.
He was a firefighter. My grandfather's a firefighter, and I've been on the local department for 30 years myself.
Right.
And it's a fascinating business. We've got great customers. They're passionate about what they do. You don't become a firefighter unless you really care about people and people's foibles and troubles that they encounter through the course of their lives. So to have a business that serves and connects with those types of individuals, we feel very fortunate.
Let's talk about this great family business. It's do you have this one facility here in New Hampshire, or do you have others?
Thanks for asking. We're located in the foothills here of New Hampshire, and this is the largest facility of its kind on the planet, making firefighters protective clothing. The same stuff that you see on the nightly news of firefighters going into burning buildings anywhere on the planet. And Globe sells in all 50 states, 82 countries around the world, and we actually have 3 domestic manufacturing facilities. This one here in New Hampshire. We have a facility also in Ada, Oklahoma, and we still make boots in the state of Maine.
So it sounds like everything is made in America.
It is, and it's more than just made here. With over 400 American workers, we actually source most of our components domestically as well, and that's been a challenge for some of our business units to get their sourcing materials made domestically. Some of those
had gone offshore years ago, and those technologies didn't even exist. And we've actually gotten companies interested in building components for us.
You know, when I think of positioning and I think of how companies and brands position themselves, I was thinking about you on the way up here, your company. I was thinking, you know, they are actually in a higher calling of a business, because what you do protects the people who protect us. And that's a pretty cool thing to do, don't you think?
I do. You talk about it like it's almost a religious experience, and it is. We term it a higher calling. It's an honor to serve these types of individuals that go and put their lives on the line to save complete strangers. Sometimes they're our friends and neighbors, but oftentimes they're just folks in our own communities, and we just care enough to go out and do that type of work.
So how do you market the company? When it first started, your great-grandfather marketed it, and now where have you come in marketing?
Well, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was all a catalog business. Having firefighters turnout gear is sort of like death, taxes, and fires, the three constants in life. And we went from that catalog business to actually bringing on distribution and adding distribution across the country and then across the planet. And we've tried to make distribution very relevant in our business. So we use a lot of fire academies and instructors that are well versed in firefighting tactics and techniques. And we go to those folks and we employ a process that we call voice of the customer. Essentially, Kevin, we ask three questions. What do you like? What do you not like? And what would you change if you could? And that elicits a whole series of responses. And we get problems and we categorize those problems. And then we have relationships with 5 universities here in the United States that are research institutions. And we go to them and articulate the problems that have been told to us. Mm-hmm. And we bring those technologies out of the laboratories of these universities onto the streets of the United States.
Well, that sounds like such a fundamentally basic principle of listening to your customers. But you know, a lot of companies don't do that. They don't go out and ask. Let's step aside now and let's talk about the family aspect of your business, because there are so many family-owned businesses in the United States, and I am part of one, and I know that I have other clients that are family-owned businesses, and you are. Tell me how many people actually from the family work in the business with you right now?
I've got a cousin-in-law that's in the business with me, and a much older brother, as I like to refer to him. The third generation, I think, got some really sound advice when they're moving the business along. The advice from counsel and so forth suggested that you want to make sure that the owners of the business are also the people that are working in the business, mm-hmm. and figure out how to take care of everybody else outside of the enterprise. And you know what? I didn't realize the wisdom of that advice back then, but I go to the UNH Center for Family Business, and I listen to all the troubles of other family businesses and in-laws and outlaws and those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. And I just am so thankful that we're structured here the way that we are. And honestly, every member of the team here is really part of the Globe family, and we treat them that way.
Do you have has anyone ever come back from you from almost death or something and said, your suit saved me? Do you have any stories like that?
We've got tons of those kinds of stories. That's part of the passion for what we do, right? We're in the emergency services business. So we have firefighters that contact us back and talk about near-death experiences and how this product, this clothing, saved their lives. We had a gentleman probably a year or so ago now that came in and brought a letter from his wife and talked about how happy they were that people were building product and they really cared. And there was not a dry eye in the place. After the presentation, we had employees that walked up to him and said, hey, I put the sleeve on your coat. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of pride that our folks take.
This is fascinating. I just love your passion for your business, and as I say to all of my guests, I wish you continued success. I hope that the 5th generation has the same passion as you. And I want to thank you very much for being with me today.
Kevin, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to share some of this Globe experience. But more than that, I hope this is a bit of an inspiration to other family businesses out there to go out there and fight every day. It's worth it. Do the right thing. Treat your people the right way and be successful.
I'm sure it will be. We'll be right back with more Brandworth right after this.
What does it take to have extraordinary advertising? It takes creativity. It takes experience. It takes empathy. It takes vision. It takes imagination. It takes a God-given sense of knowing the difference between what's good and what's great, and never settling for good. It takes innovation, but most of all, it takes courage. Tracey Communications, creating engaging, branded, award-winning content for all types of media. TraceyCommunications.com.
We take earth and fire and water and sky and a little bit of sunshine too. We put the staff of life with savory surprise and make it flat out good for you. We make fun food nutritious, American flatbread, and good food delicious, American flatbread. Honestly delicious, American flatbread.
Go to afbcoupons.com for $2 off.
Here's Kevin with this week's Guerrilla Marketing Tips.
This week's guerrilla marketing tip is that every company should work hard to define their competitive advantage, a unique benefit or promise that will become the basis of all of their messaging. Make sure that it's not so broad or diluted that it becomes common. How many times have you heard, "Our people make the difference," or "We care about you"? Customer service is number one. Remember that products and services are duplicable, so define your competitive advantage as a unique promise. Make sure that everyone in the company understands the positioning and they also can articulate it. Use it often and use it everywhere.
Palais, New Hampshire Center for Laser and Medical Aesthetics, our state-of-the-art laser and light-based treatments, beauty solutions using injectables such as Botox and dermal fillers, and aesthetic treatments to enhance your skin and maintain a healthy, glowing complexion are now here in Manchester, New Hampshire. Are you ready for flawless skin? Then call our medical professionals at Palais, New Hampshire Center for Laser and Medical Aesthetics, 603-627-7000.
And now back to our host, Kevin Tracey.
That does it for this week's Brandworth. We hope that you found something in today's show that'll help you build your brand. Having you involved is important to us. So if you have an idea, a guest, a topic, or a comment for the show, please let us know by visiting our website, brandworth.tv, tweet us at BrandworthTV, or visit us on Facebook. I'm Kevin Tracey. Thanks for watching, and please support my sponsors, because without them, this show wouldn't be possible. Think positive, and I'll see you next week.